All right. We are streaming our first live broadcast. Thank you very much, Ozark. And thanks for stopping by. I sure do appreciate it. We ended up hitting 1K late last night. I just wanted to get on here and say thank you to everybody for their support. It means a lot to me. Hey, Farmal. Hi from Zero to Homestead. How's it going? Thank you, Marshall. Much appreciated. Hi, John T. Cash. I am also new to the live stream. This is the first time I've ever streamed. I figured I'd try it out since we hit 1K as a little celebration. Hello, Kelly. Thanks for stopping by. And thank you, Matt Cook. I appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody's support. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you for your support, Ozark. Formal, that was a nice deer that you got. I watched that video a few days ago. I have not gotten a deer yet, but we've been trying to track a few down here. I was going to go out today, but it didn't quite work out. I ended up leaving my arrows at home, so I didn't get any hunting in. Hello, Geo Thunder. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Grant. Thank you for stopping by. Once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I really appreciate all your support. We ended up hitting that 1K mark last night, and I'm doing real good, Travis. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I got out to my first spot. I checked the cameras. In that spot, there was no deer coming through during the day, so I went to a second spot, and the farmer, he was out in the field doing some work, so I was like, all right, I got one more spot. I drove about 6 miles down the road. I got all my stuff out and ready to go, and then I realized that I forgot my arrows at home. So by the time I got back and to get those, it was too late to go back out. So today was just kind of a wash. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate it. Hi, Lily. Thank you for stopping by. Yep, whenever I do end up getting a deer, there'll definitely be a video out on that. And there'll be several videos going out too as I'm trying to. I've been hunting with the ghost blind basically every time now, and that has been working pretty good. I really like that. The other night when I was out with the ghost blind, I was in about 5 rows into the corn, and there was a woodpecker that was on one of the cobs, and he was pecking at it, and he was there for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then he decided to fly right up one of my shooting lanes, and he ran right into the ghost blind, knocked himself silly, and he sat on the ground for about 3 minutes before he dusted himself off and flew away. So most definitely, if the birds can't see it, the deer can't either. Farmall, I'm in Minnesota. I live pretty much right in the center of the state and all the way on the west side. Hi, Budget Bushcraft. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. So up in Minnesota here, we've been kind of chilly for a little while now, but we've already been down in the single digits, but uh, we've been kind of sitting in the 40s right now. We've gotten snow already. It's all melted off again, but a few weeks ago, there were some places that got over 20 inches of snow, which is unusual this early in the year. So I don't know what this winter is going to hold, but usually we get quite a bit of snow. There is a lot of big deer up here. Deer population is pretty good. They do get hunted quite a bit though, so they're a little smarter than average. But well, thank you for stopping by, Lily. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Hey, Joy, how's it going? Travis, you also have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hey, Nature Views and Sounds. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So tomorrow I plan on going out in the morning. I'm going to sneak in to where I've been hunting there and see if we can't get one in the morning. I have had some videos of deer passing through about 20 minutes after light. So I still have a big, decent 8-pointer that's out there. And then there's an 11-pointer that's been roaming around here and there too. With my bow, I've only been bow hunting. This is the second year. I have not shot a buck with my bow yet. My first year I shot a doe. Hey, Wounded Moose. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Bait and Lure, thanks for stopping by, and thank you. I appreciate everybody's support. Hey, Mossy Horn Hunter, how's it going tonight? I hope to get out fishing a few more times too before ice comes. I should be able to do that in the next couple of weeks. If I get a deer tomorrow, it'll be a little bit easier. But hi, Terry. Thanks for stopping by. So everybody, Terry is actually my dad. So give him a hello. I do a lot of ice fishing too in the wintertime, and some spear fishing also. So I'll be doing videos all winter long. Usually spear for northerns up here, and about, I don't know, 5 or 6 feet of water. It's pretty fun. I had a video we did last winter where we were fishing out of the windows of our Suburban. The ice gets pretty thick up here, so some of the ice houses that they take out on the lakes are like little houses with bathrooms and everything in them. They have full kitchens and sleep. Some of them sleep like 15 people. Hey, Josh, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, Mossy Horn. The wind was a little different today too. We got a southeast wind today, which is a little unusual. Usually, it's always a westerly wind if it's a northwest or southwest wind. We don't get easterly winds too often. I think my wife is in here too. Her name is Misty. She might say hi. Give her a hi also. Jackson, unfortunately, is in bed already. Otherwise, he would have stopped on here too and said hi to everybody. But hi, Tam Bear. Thank you very much and doing great. How are you? Hi, Raising Seven Munchkins. Thanks for stopping by. Hello, Youper Digger. Thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you. I hope your night is going well. Yeah, it was a shock to me this morning when we woke up and we're at 1,000 subscribers already. I didn't think we would hit that milestone, but we just kind of started posting videos this last April. I had followed quite a few YouTubers here, and a few of them kind of inspired me to start posting videos myself, and we've just kind of been doing it since and having fun. The thing that I enjoy the most is probably I really do enjoy editing the videos and making those trailers. Those are really fun for me. We still got our waterfowl season going on up here too. That goes on for the rest of the month into November. Right now, we don't have a whole lot for geese or ducks around. We need a little more colder air to come down and push some more from Canada, but I hope to get out a few more times and do that too. Jackson and I had a really good opening weekend for geese. That's been our most viewed video so far too. We're approaching 1,000 views on that one. My wife thinks the video we just posted the other day is going to be the most viewed there. That if a deer is farting in the woods video. I didn't know about if I wanted to post that video, but she said it's way too funny to not post, so she kind of forced me to. It seems like everybody thinks it's pretty funny though. I had that footage for quite a few weeks and I didn't even know it. I was looking through my trail cam videos to get a video of the buck that we've been seeing, and I knew kind of around the day that it was, and I started watching them, and I hadn't watched that one before, and I pulled it up and started watching, and I was like, what in the world is she doing? And I told my wife to come down, and she seen it, and she started laughing for about 5 minutes, and she told me I had to make a video about it. So all right, Budget, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Hi, Charlene. Thanks for stopping by. Once again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate you guys watching and commenting and liking my videos. It does mean a lot to me and Jackson. We do enjoy going out there and making videos and showing you guys our adventures. It took me about 3 hours to figure out how to do this stream, but I think it's working okay. How are you doing tonight, Virginia Fisherman? Thanks for stopping by. I'll do that. Hi, Jerkin Lions. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hope all is well with you. That's good, Virginia. Thanks, Jerkin. Not really big in the whole live stream thing, but I figured, hey, why not for our 1K celebration? I'll give it a swing and a go. So where I live up here, we have a lot of lakes. Well, Minnesota's known for a lot of lakes, but I'm about 20 minutes from, I don't know, several hundred lakes, and most of them are pretty good fishing. We have a lot of good walleye fishing up here, some big northern pike, some good panfish fishing also, and we got some good rivers with some good smallmouth bass in it too. I'm not far from the Red River, which separates North Dakota and Minnesota, and that river is known for really big channel catfish. So I've caught some channel catfish out of there, and we have a few lakes where they net those fish out, and then they stock a few lakes around here, and that's where I caught my biggest channel catfish, was out of one of those lakes. Thanks to Mint and Dad. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks, Joy, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. How's it going, Larry Johnson? I appreciate you stopping by, and thank you. You're going to move to Minnesota in the spring. Where are you moving from? I have tried the cellular trail cams one time. We couldn't get it to work really well. It's just the cell service of where we were trying to set it up at just didn't really work. So I returned it, and I have, I don't know, 6 or 7 other trail cams that we use, but there's 2 or 3 different brands. I may try it again later on. I think next year we're gonna really try to get our bear license and go bear hunting, and then we may try this whole cell cam thing again to try to save some trips back and forth. But most of the stuff I have, it's just cheap stuff. I don't use very expensive cameras or anything when I'm doing my videos. Most of the stuff is just kind of the basic things that I use. I shoot all my videos on a action cam that I bought from Walmart, just a Vivitar. This was like $38 or something like that on sale. And then for my main camera, I use this Fujifilm FinePix camera, and that's what I do with all my filming. So I don't have any real expensive filming equipment or anything like that. And then I just edit all my videos on a Mac that I've had for, I don't know, around 8 years. Awesome. Those covert cams, yeah, those are pretty good. Then all my pictures and stuff I take for our Instagram page, I do all those with just my cell cam on my phone. I just have a Galaxy S7, and I take all those from that, and then I use Instagram to edit them all. And that's what I use for my thumbnails too now, which has been working out pretty good. That's right, Wounded Moose. I think the only thing that really matters is that you have something that records in HD, and then the rest of it really doesn't matter that much. Yeah, that's pretty good to get 900 pictures in a week there, Mitt and Dad. You must have some good activity in your area there. When I pull cameras, I did pull the cards off the cameras today when I was out. I had a 500 videos on one of them, and the other one had a little over 300. I haven't gone through them all yet, but I'll be doing that later tonight. Right now, I've been kind of hunting the the farmer that I hunt his land on. He owns just under 4,000 acres. It's split up in a few different sections, but he basically just plants corn every year. And a lot of his land is kind of marshy and swampy. I would say around 50% of it. So with the corn and the swamp, it tends to hold a lot of deer. He tends to keep the corn up though pretty late, because usually around this time of the year, the farmers are, I don't know, 60 or 70% done with their corn harvest. And he has just started, so there'll be corn up probably through the end of next month yet, which is sometimes a good thing and a bad thing. Just kind of depends on, if there's a lot of corn up, it's hard to kind of find the deer, but it's nice to have a little bit of it up. Our muzzleloader season starts early December, and we hunt that too, and that's usually a really good season out there. Hello, MC Lockdown, and if it fits, it bakes. Thanks for stopping by, both of you. I hope your night is going good. And for everybody that's new in the chat right now, I just wanted to say again, thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. Hey, Fishing with Big D. How's it going, buddy? I hope your night is going well. No, I'm not at the 4K hour watch time yet. I'm a little ways away from that. That's going to take a while yet. Thank you, Fishing Bit D. I really do appreciate it. Now, if we continue on this same growth, I expect we're not going to hit 4K hours until probably the second quarter of next year. But we'll see how that goes. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, we'll just continue having fun, and it'll all come with time. So I'm just excited for the rest of this hunting season, and then I can't wait for the lakes to start to freeze over and do some ice fishing. That's right, Big D. Watch time is tough, but it is what it is, and it'll all come in time. The average is 3 to 4 minutes. Yeah, yeah, that's about right per view. That's right. Live stream does help with the watch time. This is my first live stream ever, but I'll probably do more in the future here. I just will kind of figure out what kind of content I want to do on live stream. I don't want to just be on here and sit here in front of the camera and have everybody just look at me either. I would like to have some type of reason if we're maybe doing some product reviews or something, or talking about a specific subject or something. Hunts in the work. Yeah, we're continuing to. It's our archery deer season right now. Next weekend, our gun season starts, and that runs for 1 weekend, and then that full week, and then one more weekend. So it's kind of a short season. But archery season goes right through the end of the year. So it's a long season. We'll be doing that until we come across either hopefully a big buck, or as the season goes on, I'll take a doe too. But and then our waterfall season is still going on, so I'll be doing some more of that here in the next couple weeks. And then there's still a lot of good fishing yet to do too before the ice comes. It'll take a while for the rivers to freeze up yet, so I'll be doing some river fishing yet, maybe out on the lake yet too. I haven't put the boat away yet, so. Hey, SAP Fishing, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, I suppose the lakes don't freeze down there. They freeze pretty good up here. On a really cold winter, we can definitely see over 3 feet of ice on the lakes. So sometimes it gets really hard to get a whole cut in the ice to be able to fish through. Well, that'd really be cool if you got your daughter into some. You know, that's one big thing that I'm a big supporter of, is getting the kids into the outdoor activities. You know, their kids are a future, right? And if we don't teach them how to, fish and hunt and everything, well, then there's not going to be any more fishermen or huntermen or anything. So I'm a huge supporter of getting the kids into the outdoors, if it's, even just camping or whatever, but just get them out of the house and get them doing something. Yeah, I haven't done any muskie fishing up here yet. It's something that we've thought about a few times. There's some really big muskies around here. When the DNR started stocking the lakes and stuff, they've done a pretty good job. And now so much time has passed where those fish are getting really big. There's even been the last couple of years of reports of big muskies they found dead up on shore and stuff, and some of them are starting to die from old age. So there's definitely some big muskies to catch around here. I only got a half hour or so because I got kind of awkward. I did a stream 30 minutes or so. Yeah, on dove season, yeah. We have dove season up here too. It's kind of weird though. In Minnesota, not a lot of people hunt for doves, so they've been trying to get people to get out every year more and more. But for some reason, hunters up here just don't want to go out and hunt them. We have hunted them a few different times, and dove is very delicious with some bacon wrapped around it and barbecued over a grill. Thanks, Big D. I appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night. Hey, folks, do you have anything on camera? If you're talking about deer, yeah, we've had a lot of deer on our trail cam pictures, so some nice ones too. Yeah, we got some big pike around here too. Um, a lot of good walleye fishing. This is good fishing all around. Our bass fishing is good too, but they don't get quite as big because the water is colder. If you catch a 6 pound bass around here, that's a pretty big bass. My biggest bass that I've ever caught is 5 pounds, 2 ounces. That's my personal best. But I catch a lot of 4 pounders and a lot of just under 4 pounders. Yeah, we still have a few doves up here. I would say like our dove season opens September 1st. But I would say about 2 weeks ago, we really started getting a lot of doves in the area where there'd be some of the flocks would be 30 or 40 doves. I was actually out deer hunting a couple of weeks ago, and some of the doves came into the trees, and they were flying out of the trees and into the cornfield and back and forth and back and forth. And it was so loud with them getting up and landing and getting up and landing. That's right. So again, Terry is my dad. He was talking about one of our old friends asking how I got so interested in hunting, and he was saying that he did everything that he could to discourage me. My dad, yeah, he wasn't much of a hunter. He'd take us fishing every once in a while, but I really got into it in my teenage years. And actually guided for a little bit in North Dakota for fishing. Did that for a few years, and I've just kind of enjoyed it ever since. And I really enjoy taking Jackson out. He loves fishing. He loves hunting too, but as it gets colder, of course, he doesn't like sitting out there quite as much. So he's not been going with me quite as many times as he does when it's a little warmer out. But yeah, down in Texas, they have some really big bass. I've never gone to Texas, but I follow a few YouTubers from Texas, and some of the bass they catch down there is crazy. I've seen 11-pound bass be caught down there. Hey, Nordic RV, thanks for coming by, buddy, and I appreciate it. And where I live here in Minnesota, I'm right alongside the like where the forest starts and the farmland begins. So basically, if I drove from my house about 20 miles to the east, then you start getting into a lot of pine trees, a lot of wooded areas. And if you drive about 20 miles to the west of me, it's all flat North Dakota, farmland and prairies. So I'm just kind of in this transition area. So we see a lot of good deer hunting around here. And then with the migration of waterfowl and stuff too, they come through here quite a bit. So we have a lot of good hunting around here too. Well, thank you for stopping by. If it fits, I really appreciate it. Hope you have a good night. And they call this the Red River Valley up through here. This used to be an old lake bed way back when of old Lake Agassiz. So I live kind of right on the shores of the old lake. So I'm kind of up on a big hill. And then when you go to the west, you can go down a hill and then it's just flat. It's where the old lake was, and it's really flat. There's not a lot of trees, but there's a lot of farmland, a lot of cropland. Well, that's another reason why all the animals are through here a little bit more is because from years past, this is kind of where they went. This is where they flew along the old lake as far as the waterfall go. And it's just kind of been passed down from generation to generation of the waterfall of where they migrate through. So it's a good flyaway. And then we have some prairie chickens around here too. We have pheasants also. The pheasant population around here usually isn't that great, but over the past 3 or 4 years, because we had some mild winters, there's a lot more birds now than there really has ever been since I've lived around here. And then we have some really good turkey hunting. The DNR around here, quite a few years ago, reintroduced turkeys in Minnesota. They were basically non-existent from overhunting. And they started reintroducing them and spent some good money trying to get them to go. And they've done a really good job. There are a lot of turkeys around now. We've been turkey hunting for, I think, 4 years now. And we've gotten our turkeys every year. And we have some flocks of turkeys that are well over 200. You can pretty much go driving around any river bottom and see turkeys now. So that's one thing that they've done a really good job at, the DNR, that is bringing back the turkey population. That's right, bud, man. It does get really cold up here. It is not uncommon to be -20 to -30 actual temperature up here. And when the wind blows, we do see some pretty cold wind chills. We can get down to -50, -60 even on the wind chills. It usually gets really, really cold, kind of in that January range after the new year. And then it's cold for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we start warming up a little bit. And then we just kind of wait until the snow melts. And hi, Tag Team Recoveries. Appreciate you stopping by. I hope your night is going well. Yes, Virginia, we're definitely going to do some ice fishing. We do a lot of ice fishing. We have two permanent ice houses, and then we have several pop-up ice houses that we take out also. So I have a wheeled house. It's an 8x8 that we built a couple of years ago. I have underwater cameras, and we got a little TV in there too. We put up a cot in it too, so we do some overnights also in it. And then I have a spear house also that we put out, and I do some spearing in that. It's a dark house, so I don't know if you're familiar with spearing, but we cut a hole in the ice that's anywhere from 3 feet wide to about 4 feet long, and we just sit in a house with no windows or anything, so it's completely dark, and you can see in the water really well then. And we use a spear to spear the fish. We just have white-tailed deer around here. We have some big ones though. Our bucks tend to get pretty big. We have some really big body deer too. My wife, hey Pauline, I appreciate you stopping by, my friend. My wife started deer hunting a couple of years ago. She started off by hunting our muzzleloader season, which is in the first part of December. So she was hunting with muzzleloader, and up here you can't use a scope or anything on it, so it's just open sights. So we were out in a snowstorm, and a buck came out into the field at 150 yards, and she pulled up on that, shot with iron sights with the muzzleloader, and hit that deer, and it fell over right there. Didn't run at all, and she got her first 10-point buck, her first deer ever, and that scored just under 130 inches. So it was a nice first deer. Today it started raining up here. It's been just kind of a cool day, 40 degrees with a light rain. I did tell this story earlier, but I tried to go hunting today. I left about midday. I got everything packed up. I got out there, checked the cameras in the one spot. I didn't see any daytime photos or anything on there. So I went to my second spot, and the farmer was doing some field work over there. So I went to my third spot, which is about 6 miles down the road, and that looked pretty good. I had started to get all my stuff out of the truck, and I got my bow out of my case, and I was looking for my arrows, and I was like, I don't have my arrows. I left those at home. So I kind of ran out of time, and I did not end up sitting tonight, but I hope to go tomorrow. Yes, Digger, there's a lot of coyotes around here. I personally have not gone predator hunting yet. I have looked into it a few times though, and I think we'll probably get into that during this winter. But we have a lot of coyotes around, and those coyotes are hard on all the fawns and the pheasants and even the turkeys. So any given night, you can sit outside right before the sun goes down below the horizon, and they really start yipping and yowling. And there's some packs that are 20 plus coyotes. I've been out deer hunting several times, even this year, where I'm walking back in the dark, and you can start hearing them yipping at each other and growling even. So I do get pretty close to them, even deer hunting in the nighttime. Sometimes it gets a little scary walking back in the dark. Thank you for stopping by, Garth. I appreciate it. They have several coyote hunts though in the area where they do like tournaments and stuff. And when those go on, they do shoot like 200-300 coyotes in one day. There's a lot of them around. Thank you, Infantry Outdoors. I appreciate it. I did get a few coyotes on my trail cam too a few weeks ago where they were walking by. Hi, Life is 8. I hope your night is going well. We have some trout streams around here too. I didn't go trout fishing this year, but next year, I think Jackson and I are going to get in the car and we're just going to kind of hit a bunch of trout streams and do a day of it. I have trout fished in the past and it is pretty fun. I have never done any fly fishing, but we just kind of throw rooster tails, as we call them, little spinners and stuff, and we do pretty good. Yeah, Digger, and not only coyotes, but we're starting to see a lot of wolves even around this area. The DNR still denies that there's wolves around this area, but I have seen them. I know people that have pictures of them on their trail cams too, and then I also know a few people that have caught a few in live traps too. But you go a little farther to the east and north, and there's a lot of wolves up there. So the coyotes, you do need a hunting license for them, yes. If they are doing damage to your livestock, then you don't. But there is a season for them, yes. All right, bud, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope your night goes well. They did have a wolf season up here in Minnesota too. Last year, the year before. Currently, though, it's closed, but I don't know if they're going to open that up again. When they did that hunt, there was a lot of fighting back and forth on if they should have done it or not. So I'm not sure if they will open that back up or if they'll wait a few years. Hi, KO Outdoors. I appreciate you stopping by. I haven't gotten out pheasant hunting yet. That just opened up 2 weekends ago, but I haven't done a pheasant hunt yet. I've been seeing a lot of them. We have a lot of pheasants actually right around my house here too. Where I live here is I live in the middle of a section. I have a half-a-mile long driveway from the main road, and I get a lot of pheasants that live along my driveway. So I really just need to one of these evenings walk up and down my driveway, and I'm sure I could flush a couple of them. I'm hoping to get a good goose hunt in right around my house here too. The farmer that does the land right around me had corn up, and he just now harvested that. So I hope some birds start using this field, and I'll be able to just basically go out my back door and get a good goose hunt in too. Yeah, infantry outdoors. Well, there's a lot of coyotes up here, so if you ever want to come up and go coyote hunting, there's a lot of opportunities up here. It seems like no matter what we try to do to lower the coyote population, it just doesn't lower. It seems like it's increasing all the time, which they're really hard on the rabbits and the pheasants and all that stuff. I can definitely tell a difference in how many rabbits are around now to compared to like 15 years ago. And we're getting to have a lot of eagles around here now too. The past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, the eagle population has really increased around our area here. Excuse me. When I was, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, it was rare to see an eagle. If you saw an eagle, you basically kind of pulled over on the highway and you kind of admired it because it wasn't something that you've seen a lot. But nowadays, basically, I see eagles almost every day. We have nesting pairs around here all the time, and it's not uncommon to see, you know, even a dozen of them at one time. When I was hunting about 10 days ago, Jackson and I were actually sitting. We had two eagles that came and sat in the tree right above us for about 2 hours. And then when we were walking out, they finally seen us, and they didn't appreciate us being there, so then they flew off. But the eagles, they're taking a lot of the rabbits and the smaller animals out too. We used to have a lot of jackrabbits around here, but I haven't seen a jackrabbit for probably 3 years now. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming. I'm probably going to end this stream at 8 o'clock my time, so give it about another 7 minutes or so. I'm going to come out with another video with the ghost blind, kind of showing 5 or 6 sits with it of how it blended in with the environment. I've been really happy with it so far. I've been using it a lot. The only thing that I've learned that you kind of got to watch out for is fine dust. If fine dust gets on to the reflective surface, it will scratch it. It holds up pretty good though with like the grass and stuff like that. But snow hairs, oh yeah. Well, I appreciate Infinity Outdoors. You have a good night. We have a few fox around the area too, but with all the coyotes we have, they're hard on the fox population too. We tend not to see a lot of fox where the coyotes hang out. They don't get along very well. And I know of a few guys that do a lot of trapping too. They trap for beaver, and there's some guys that trap for raccoons and trap for the coyotes also. There's a couple trap lines that I know of around where I live here. So bobcats, it's not that they're not around, but they're pretty rare. We also have like badgers and stuff too, but again, they're pretty rare. There's not a lot of them, but they are around. Also, mountain lions. Every once in a while, I would say maybe once every 3 years or so, somebody spots one. It is pretty rare again, but they do tend to kind of wander through every once in a while. We also see an elk every once in a while around here. There is an elk herd that's in northern Minnesota. And then every once in a while, there'll be one that wanders down this way, and somebody will spot it. But they don't stay around here. We used to have a lot of moose around the area, but again, the moose numbers have been just kind of dwindling every year. It's one of those things that maybe you'll see once a year where you'll see one moose, but it's pretty rare also. We have some minks though. There's quite a few of those around. And if you go a little bit to the east, there's some fishers and stuff like that too that are in more of the foresty areas. Yep, and there's more moose. The farther north and east you go of where I live here. They tend to just not come this far west. It gets to be a lot more farmland around here. But what's weird about it too, because in North Dakota, their moose population has been pretty good for the last few years. I don't know. The DNR has been doing several studies around here in Minnesota trying to figure out what's affecting their population. There's some parasites and stuff that they found, but I haven't heard that they've locked it down yet on what the cause is. I personally think that the wolf population has a lot to do with it. I think a lot of them are being killed by the wolves, but hi, hunting and stuff. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I see. It's a nice area. So, what brings you to Minnesota? Were you from here before, or did you just move in here for a different reason? Yeah, hunting and stuff. It is raining here also. Started raining here about midday today. It's just been a light drizzle the whole day. Well, all right, everybody. I think I'm going to hop off here. It is the 8 o'clock hour here where I live. Oh, I see. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about your wife. It is sometimes good to get a fresh start somewhere. You also hunting and stuff. I hope your night, the rest of your night goes very well. And have a good rest of your weekend. And Digger, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and has hung out with me tonight. I will definitely do another live stream in the future. But for now, I am going to call it a night, and I'll see you guys another time. Thank you.